I'm not even gonna lie. These last 3 weeks have kicked my ass, and I've literally wanted to do absolutely nothing. However, I went outside of myself yesterday, and I kept my appointment with my friend Neosha, which was amazing. We ended up at a black-owned gallery in Bronxville, Chicago, named Gallery Guichard, because I don't want to mess up the pronunciation. And I was able to meet some incredible people, and just soak in light and love. It was no strangers. Everyone was friendly, everyone connected, everybody spoke, and it was just kind of like, a family feel or whatever. But my need to speaks today is about just showing up, and just showing up. There is no end, just showing up. Sometimes that's all we need to do, and just allow God to take his course, just flowing in the spirit and flowing in whatever is happening is more of a blessing sometimes than planning. I feel like sometimes our plans are at our detriment because we get so stuck on our plans, or we get so stuck of whatever's going on in our head, that we forget life outside of that. Sometimes when you're used to being in your head, and you're used to chaos, and you're used to being a survivalist, you missing out on a lot. And when we get used to things, that's just like going and being in a room, and it's the smell. Like, you smell it at first when you're in a room, but sit in that room for a long time and you no longer smell it. And I think that's at a point of where some of us are in our lives. Like, we've been around the stench in our lives for so long that we don't even recognize it anymore. And the only way that you can recognize it is by stepping outside of yourself into a new environment. And so I feel like that is what I needed to do yesterday. And it was such a blessing and such a lesson, because it taught me to a couple of things. It taught me, number one, to show up. And secondly, it taught me how much I preach about being yourself and being comfortable with yourself, but how far I have to go in that as well. It's one thing to be kind to someone else, or it's one thing to even be cognizant that you need to be kind to yourself, but application makes a great deal of a difference. So I never want to get on here and preach something that I don't practice as well. And so I'm just learning different ways about myself where I do more harm than more good. And so I just want you to stay encouraged and keep pushing through. And sometimes it's not all about being prepared or having things together. Sometimes it's simply about showing up. So I did write about that on my blog. You can go to www.beyourownkind.com to check that out and just learn about that experience, or even just be inspired. And until next time, be kind to yourself and each other. Bye.